Here we go. Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday.
What's up, man?
I'm Anthony White. White, A Dot, whatever you want to call me. My man Van House over here. I can't never get that screen right, but so
What's up,
it's
man?
another Throwback Thursday edition of the Locker, man. How you feeling out there? And are y'all safe down there in the
Man,
bayou?
man, for once it missed us. It went. I'm praying for Lake Charles, western city of Louisiana. It's close to the border of Texas, so it kind of hit that borderline pretty well. So it hit that what's that? Orange, Texas, Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, Alexandria, a little bit. And went on north. I got a lot of rain though, but definitely not the the wind destruction that those guys got over there.
What's the expectation? They expecting y'all to get a little taste of
Oh no, no,
yeah,
no, no!
blizzard?
It's past now, brother.
Oh,
It's
okay.
coming north. It hit us late last night and early this morning.
Oh, so y'all done? Like it's just
Yeah, yeah,
over?
it's done. Yeah, once it
Oh,
passed,
okay.
it's gone.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay. They say we're supposed to get a little. I mean, they say we're supposed to get like 20, 30 mile an hour winds. We're supposed to get a
yeah,
little taste
y'all
of it.
should get it probably tomorrow morning, maybe. I'm
I
thinking
think they're
because it.
saying tomorrow evening ish.
Okay, all right, talk tomorrow evening because it's got to be past Arkansas coming up that way now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they on their way up here, man. So man, I know we got a former teammate come on. Sorry, we a little bit late today. I know I used to have the luxury of blaming it on the elder Hiles, but he sit at home. He got his own business. He pick and choose his battles, and he got a lot of time to get things together. But so we're a little bit late, and it's my
Hold on,
fault.
hold on,
It's a
hold on,
little
hold
bit late,
on.
so
I'm sick of that shit. I hate it when people think us self-employed people should be sitting at home doing nothing, bruh. We work just as, look. Being self-employed is just like being employed. The only difference is if I don't want to work tomorrow, I don't have to. But if I don't work tomorrow and my client needs some work done, I might not be the I might not be working with that client anymore. So I can't just take off just because. Now, if I want to, I can, but there's some repercussions um, doing it if I do it. I'm just saying it's not quite what a lot of people think. I don't have my own I'm trying to think of what like my own lawnmower company or something like that. Landscaping business. It isn't quite like that though. Just FYI.
okay. Man, all the businesses I own, I feel like I do more working than anything, I stay behind the eight ball, like I stay back. Like I stay back there. Like I stay pushing. Like I don't know. So that's why whenever every time I turn around, you available to talk. Then I know you ain't talking about nothing. And I ain't gonna use. We need to cut down on curse words because this is geared toward. No, I know it's a locker. We do.
Yeah,
But this is geared toward scholastic, high school,
yeah,
college kids.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
when they viewing it, I don't want to have to put the explicit filter on when I put it on the
Although
podcast.
although I'm sure their coaches have said some things to
Oh yeah, yeah. We
Now I'm
yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
this: the reason why I am always available, and this is why I have stayed in business for 20 years, is because I'm at my laptop all day. So I got my phone or my laptop. So I'm just because I can talk to people doesn't mean I'm not doing something else. Like right now, I got a client pinging me right now. Um, I can multitask. The same way I can look at the quarterback and the receiver at the same time and jump a route. The same way I can multitask. Now,
And what was your record?
I had 8 interceptions, bro.
I didn't say yours. What was the record
I
of the
said I
teams
had
you
eight
put?
interceptions, bro. That. I was talking
Five.
about my ability to cover and look at the quarterback and receive at the same time. I had eight
No,
career interceptions.
I give you that, and I won't hold you. I won't hold you on that, but I give
Hmm.
you that. But
Hmm.
if you got 10 other players thinking the same thing you saying, That turns out to be 4. That's 4-7, or 1-10.
Yeah.
So it's a team unit. Is a unit game,
We were
man.
6-6 one year. Yes, that's yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you'll buy that. You'll buy that. But when you were 6-6, you was a pup. So I don't know if you was giving all that reading everybody and knowing what everybody doing.
That's where it
Stuff.
started. Nah, I didn't
So
play. Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, so you lined up. Well, you ain't lined up. You lined up, but I'm saying I ain't trying to make it like some one of our homeboys or
I am
whatever.
lined up. It's fresh.
Is way back there. Now you back lined up. But, no, so we got a guest coming on that particularly you played more downs with him. It's a little closer. You give a little insight so we don't get Ryan Lemon where we just get jumped into the show without any without any introduction. We just have a guest show up.
Right. So are you telling me to give the introduction now? No.
Oh yeah. No. Just tell them what we getting into later.
All right. So we got, as I have said on this broadcast and other broadcasts, that we are gonna have probably the best, if not the best, definitely the most complete safety I ever played with at UK. Number 2, he was the best athlete in the secondary when he was here. By far, wasn't even close. I know Stephen Hall will probably bitch at me about this. Oh, excuse my language. He will probably complain about that. But Reggie, man, was that dude. And he's the author of a new book. It's called The Recruiting Playbook, and it's a guide to the steps that the prospective student athlete need to go through. And I'm sure it's for the parents too. So if a parent or a current high school player wants the ins and outs, some tips on how to get yourself seen, I suggest you purchase this book. I posted on my Twitter account, and I'll add it to the locker one too. You can either buy a hard copy or a Kindle version.
I noticed. I saw you can get it. On your little the millennial versions, not the paper version. You get the millennial versions, but
there's not like a hard copy. I'm getting both because I'm a put that hard copy on the shelf. I don't want to put the creases in it, and I'm buy the Kindle version so I can read it. You know what I'm
saying? Before we get to the man, did he autograph? Did you get yours autographed? You got an autographed version?
That's a damn good question because I ordered a book from him, so it's as better autograph it.
Come on, man. Why you keep cussing?
I'm sorry. Kids. We're in the locker, man.
But we gonna be talking to kids, man.
Change the name of the show.
But are you trying to influence kids? Are you trying to influence kids? Young Hurdle Hiles ain't on here. We're not talking to Hurdle Hiles because you're responsible for Hurdle Hiles all day long. You can do whatever you want with Hurdle Hiles.
Multi-event Hiles has heard all the words.
Well, I'm going
Spanish too.
Before we introduce and bring him in, I'm going to piggyback off what you said. I don't know if he's the best safety that's been in UK. He may or may not because I say hold on. I didn't say you said the best. Right, that's what I'm saying that you played with.
Yeah, I played with him.
And it was not a knock. I was saying that I didn't get a chance to play with him. Okay. But he influenced me when I was at defensive back. He was one of the dudes that was a dog and took me. Look at Aaron Warden chimed in, and he took me under his wing. Everywhere I've been, people took me under. But Reggie was one of the dudes. I knew he was an athlete, and he talked about playing basketball last time he was on over at the city. I remember Reggie all day. Reggie can hoop because hoop was my thing too. But I'm just saying I didn't play with him, but I knew he had a good heart. I knew the boy could play ball. That's why he played on the next level, and I think that has something to do with, like I said, when you start talking about the book. That as a freshman at UK, he ain't have to worry about me, man. He trying to make it to the next level. He worried, he got to get where he got to get because there's other people, and I ain't gonna say no names. Some of them on the screen right now that didn't worry about me as much and played with me for at least a year. Reggie, I'm talking about it's a little more than just the hey, yo, rep kid, hey, you need to do this or You know, if there's a rep going on that he ain't want me in this position to get my head blast, hey, hold on, let me take this one. You get the next one. So he looked out for a player, but without further ado, man, let's get the man himself, Reggie Rusk, in here so he can speak for himself. Hello,
Hey,
Reggie.
man. What's
He's
going on,
up.
man? You
Hold on, he's muted. Oh,
hey, you
let me see if
muted,
I
brother.
can. I got you. Go ahead.
No, you
Nope, I
still
don't.
muted. Y'all fighting each other.
All
Y'all
right.
fighting.
Right.
Good.
I unmuted. He muted. You good, my fella? You good?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Hey, trying to avoid 2020 like the plague. We got hurricanes, viruses. I can't call it.
Bruh,
There's a lot going on.
there's a lot going on, man.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
But how's that?
So,
Go ahead, Ant.
no, I was gonna say he said he got a lot going on, but it's a lot going on. How you got time to write a book? You and Van,
Right.
I'm gonna let you and Van do the show because I gotta go to work. I got things. You writing books. You teach kids, man. Man, how do y'all have all this time to
Hey,
do all
that
this
book
stuff?
is 3 years in the making. Matter of fact, you know what? One of our UK alumni, Stephanie Perrott, helped with that book. And she went to UK.
Is
I
this
wanna, I
Stephanie
always want
Perrot?
to give
I
her a
didn't know it was
shout
Stephanie Perrot. I always call her Parrot.
out.
I did too. I go to bed.
What's up, Steph? Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Gotta
that's
give her a shout
good
out.
stuff. That's good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
plug that. That's good stuff.
She helped me a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Where's she at now?
She's still in Kentucky.
If oh, okay,
Uh oh.
okay.
Ant, are you trying
No,
to
man. Come
you
on,
try,
man.
you trying
Hey,
to
man.
you trying to get your
Van,
foot in the door? I'm just
Van,
saying. You try.
Van. I'm a happily single guy, and you don't even know her. You don't even know her situation for you to be, making this a.
Hey,
We got Reggie on
I,
here, so
I
you know
don't
they're
even know
watching from
about
coast
that.
to coast,
hold
from
on, hold on,
Cali to.
hold on. We're in the locker. You know. I can't curse. You said today that you don't care who the is. You're gonna put your resume on top, ain't you? You're
Man,
gonna
I'm
try your
40.
best.
I'm
Come
40
on.
some years old, man. This you ain't talking to
You are
23 year
old. You
old
are
ain't white,
old,
man.
man.
Yeah, I'm
You
40
old,
something,
man.
man.
God,
Just
you
cause,
old.
She our age, and she's in Kentucky, and
hey
she's
Mm-mm.
smart.
man, listen what I'm
Mm-mm.
trying to tell you. Big Uncle Reggie. I ain't gonna call you Uncle Reggie because you old or nothing. Because I felt big bro. I call you big bro. Big bro. This is the thing. Y'all got in y'all 40s. Y'all got y'all was married before y'all got 40, and y'all because y'all wisened up. I'm 40 years old now. Like I don't see opportunities anymore, man. I just
Oh,
see advancement. I
man,
just see
stop,
advancement.
man.
I don't see
Hey,
opportunities anymore.
you want to have somebody when you start getting older, someone to share all of your success with. So find that person that completes you and can help you through the process.
Preach.
You know, I found that I did find that person for real.
Okay.
Y'all,
All right.
y'all,
See, we're
y'all
gonna put
looking
him
at
and George together because they
y'all
both
looking at
like
him.
they
Y'all
think they
looking at him right
25
now.
forever.
I found that person that completes me that I get along with. You looking at him right now.
You
Hey
stupid.
guys, hey
You
guys, I
stupid.
found that
Hey man, I'm
person.
telling
You stupid.
you. Hey,
So Reg, tell me how this book came about, man. What you said 3 years in the making. What got you to think about doing this book and push yourself to even do it? Because man, I've been thinking about a book too. I'm still still haven't wrote the
hey.
first word.
Well, I think I was one of those guys that easily could have fell through the cracks in high school. A lot of opportunities were not there for me early on, and it wasn't because I couldn't play. It was just things happen, right? And I was fortunate enough to have someone that was in my corner. So when I got the opportunity, I felt like I needed to put something out where I could help other kids who may slip through the cracks. There's a lot of 4 and 5 star guys. Colleges already know who those people are. But what
Right.
about the guys that really are the heart and soul of every university, the heart and soul of the NFL or NBA, whatever case may be? What about those guys? What happens if they fall through the cracks? So I wanted to make sure that I put this guide out, and when I say 3 years in the making, it's actually longer, but 3 years from actually starting to actually write. Writing was sort of a therapy. Being away from the game, you go through things, and the writing part was just a way for me to kind of escape and have that therapy. So um, Stephanie really helped me along the way with finishing it off, and she did an excellent job for me. But I definitely wanted to get this out. I wanted to make sure that I reach out to as many kids who are willing to listen, because there's a lot of companies out here with guys who have never been through the process who are ripping people off for their money, and I just got tired of seeing that happen.
Facts.
So I was looking, doing a little research myself. I didn't actually get a copy yet because I work, unlike some people. But I noticed, and it's funny. Do you have different covers for them? Are they different? I see. I noticed I saw a female athlete on one of the covers, and I also saw a
Yeah,
football player on. Okay,
I have a couple different covers. One is a female basketball. I actually have an athlete. Shout out to Brianna Turner. She's in the WNBA.
Wow.
So I don't want to make this all about football, because at the end of the day, kids fall through cracks at every level, every sport. So, but the information in the book is still the same. There's a lot of different strategies that can be used that can help a kid figure it out on their own, and help a family figure it out on their own, where they can do a lot of this lead work and get themselves out there. And I just got tired of people taking advantage. We are Athletes get taken advantage of on every level. When you look at the pee wee, you got the parents and these guys that maybe didn't make it, and they are living vicariously through the kids. They're using these kids and taking advantage of them. Then you get to high school. You have some high school coaches who can care less about the kids, and they're taking advantage of them. And then once they get into the business of college and the NCAA, they're being taken advantage of there as well. And then the NFL, we all know it's a business. It's nothing personal, but um, it's a business, and people are taking advantage of there as well. So um, I just wanted to speak out and give these kids an early opportunity to get the information. And I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink.
Right.
is there a? I know lately we've been having people on. Is there a certain? Can you think of a certain situation or instance? Because I know a lot of my instances in life that something that either happened to you or you seen happen to a kid. Like, I'm not gonna let this happen again. You got any instances on that you can give people a scenario without using names, because we talking about maybe probably youth, but is there a certain situation or two?
Oh man, I got a lot of situations, but I had kids that went off to major Division 1s, and when they get there, they had been lied to, and it puts them in a vulnerable place because they don't know. And here it is, they're having to transfer different schools, and kind of set you back a little bit. I've had instances of that. I've had kids in little league, have been, you know, I think at that level, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be where they can enjoy it, and I think the adults make it a job when they're 8 and 9 years old. Um, and I work with countless amount of high school athletes, and man, and I'm not knocking any coaches, and I'm not talking about all coaches, but I've seen some coaches who really don't care about the kids, whether they are trying to go to that next level or not. So I make sure that in the book, I make a point to let them know that you have to go into your coach freshman year and let them know, hey, I want to one day possibly play at the next level. At least let him know that. So that way, um, they know firsthand. Is he going to put in the work that is required to become an athlete that can play at the next level? But you have to let those coaches know, because if you don't, I mean, if you're a late bloomer, then he's not gonna they're gonna only focus on the kids that they feel like are the ones that are go to the next level.
Right.
It's
I got
so.
so
Go ahead. Okay.
how what can the parents get from reading your book? Because I'm sure there's some things that the parents can take from it too.
Man, I dropped a lot of gems in there from a lot of parents may not know what core GPA is. Like having that understanding and knowing how many hours that you have to have credited before your senior year, or knowing about um, your visits, how many visits you get, just a lot of different things as far as building a relationship with your counselor. That's important because counselors work with regular students on a more a daily basis than they do athletes, and we have a different set of requirements for us. So they have to establish a relationship with their counselor so the counselor knows that this kid is playing sport and he one day wants to play at the next level. So he has to understand what classes I need to take, how many hours I have to have by this certain period, what my SATs are. You'd be surprised, man. Kids don't even know what the NCAA eligibility center is. They don't know when to sign up for it. So all of these things are in the book. They break everything down for them so they can make rational and reasonable decisions on their own career.
So I was getting that. So this is for anybody who's watching. You can get this for a parent. You can get this for your niece, your nephew, your brother, your whatever. There's some insights in there that everybody can gain from, not just the high school athlete.
Think about this. Think about this. There are recruiting sites or services, right?
Yep.
So they basically have a platform where Van House is a sophomore in high school and he wants to be seen by college coaches, right?
Right.
And we put your profile up and it talks about you and your stats and all of this good stuff. That's great. I'm a college coach. I go on there and I'm looking for certain criteria, right? If
Right.
Van House is not 6'2" and plays safety and corner, I'm not really looking at you. I might breeze through and see your name, but I'm looking for specifics. How many times do you think a coach is looking for a 5'10", 5'9" cornerback? Like, you think they're going online looking for a 5'10",
No.
5'9" cornerback?
No.
Probably not. But what if this guy is 5'9", 5'10", can play? You watch his film, he's always around the ball. He's a leader. He has good grades. He's good character, but he's not the searchable guy. He's not the visual.
Right.
So this book is going to help those kids learn how to market themselves, and that's what it's all about, is marketing, right? The tools that they have that we all didn't have is the internet.
Right.
And all the coaches are on Twitter. There's no reason that a kid doesn't follow and find all of the coaches that he's interested in. There's just no excuse for that, right? So
Right.
we break that down in the book as well. How to use social media as an advantage for you. And we have kids, man. They're marketing themselves online. They're posting their workout videos. They know how to tag coaches. They know how to message coaches, and it works.
Yeah.
I break down as far as going to camps. I don't know how many of you guys, we didn't have a lot of camps when we were coming up, but now camps are huge. But the bad part about it is you go into a camp and maybe 300 kids there. How do you stand out, right? So we give them strategies on how to stand out at a camp. I have some great, great, great strategies that every time I tell a kid to do these strategies, it works because it shows that they come there and they're meaning that they're coming there for business. It's not, I'm just coming here to look good at this camp. So just having those different strategies really give you an upper hand when you're going to a camp and it's 500 kids and you're not one of the guys that they're recruiting.
And camps are big, man. That's how I got noticed by Southern Mississippi. It wasn't the athletic ability, so to speak, because everybody athletic. Come on now, everybody's athletic. It's the
Exactly.
fact that the coach can see that you are coachable and that he can coach you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's huge. You get a guy who's not coachable, you get him, you're like, oh hell, why did I recruit that guy? You go to a camp, you need to go to a camp that is on your level too. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm not a 5-star, so to speak, why am I gonna waste my time going to Alabama? I should be
Yeah.
going to your in Texas, what North Texas, your Rice, your SMU's, maybe your Prairie View, your Texas Southern. Pick the school that's on your level, so you can get looked at, and not try to go to this other college where they really don't give a damn about you.
Exactly. Yeah, we've sent kids, from Texas, and that's one of the things. Like, if you're from Texas and you go to a Chicago, a Louisville, or a Kentucky camp, once they find out you're from Texas, because they probably more than likely don't recruit there, because we know they recruit in a regional
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you go there and you stand out and you use those strategies, they're gonna be like, oh, are you interested in moving away from home? We know most kids want to stay close to home so their parents can watch them play. And
Right.
that's another thing that we discussed. Like, are you willing to go away? Because that's huge. You don't have that family support, and it'll save the coaches, it'll save the family a lot of time, effort, and money if the kid knows, okay, I'm fine with going to Kentucky, and I'm from Texas, right?
Right.
So those are some of the things that a parent needs to talk about beforehand.
It, the one thing I was trying to figure out when you were talking about this, because I got neighbors who always kind of ask me, is there anything in the book about can you get through to the parents that don't want to let go? Because that was one thing, like I said, when I brought you up earlier, you helped me make the transition from leaving Cleveland, Ohio, because, you from Texas, you've been in California. Cleveland, California, and Texas is nothing like Lexington, Kentucky. None of it. And it was an adjustment. And it's hard for a woman to lead it, or what's a woman. And I maybe the same for fathers. I don't want to be gender biased, but you got anything in there for? And I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't, but for for the parents to have it. Sometimes it ain't the kids who don't want to make their transition. Sometimes it's the parents when your kid call you crying or having an issue about staying. You got to be strong enough to know that not this year, not next year, 3 or 4 years from now, this decision is going to pay off. Not this 15, 30-minute conversation we having.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. I didn't go too in depth with a lot of that because I do consulting with athletes. So the book is just a kind of a precursor to
Okay.
getting strategies, right? And then if they want to go more in depth, then they'll do the consulting. With consulting, that's a part of it, is finding out, like, are you really interested in going somewhere else? I think I was just too I'm not gonna say dumb, but I just didn't care. I didn't have that hang up to where I cared about going to Kentucky or going to California. I was like, okay, opportunity, let's do it. That's just my personality, though. Some kids, first time away from home, they may not be able to handle that. So I make sure in the book, though, that you need to, by at least sophomore year, man, you got to start having a 10 to 20 top school list, and you can kind of narrow those down as you develop, right?
Yeah.
If you're 5'9" your freshman year, and then all of a sudden you're 6'3", but you still have all of these schools in there that you like, they're in the area that you like. You want to have a list of those schools so you can start learning and finding out more about those schools. Because too many kids go to school and they think that it's great. And I'm a prime example. I went to Kentucky, and it wasn't based off of me having any knowledge of what was going on at Kentucky. It was based off of, okay, I like the recruiter. I got 3, 4 other guys that are coming from my school, junior college, that are going. So hey, I'm gonna go too. And I of course looked at the conference, but at the end of the day, I didn't do my due diligence when it came down to going to Kentucky. I was going to go to USC and stay in California, and I chose to go to Kentucky for whatever reasons that I did. But you know, if I would have had someone, and we've had this conversation, right? Like if I had someone um, guiding me, maybe I don't make that decision because I was the number two safety coming out of junior college, right?
Right.
And then I make the decision to go to a school where the defensive back coach didn't recruit me,
Right.
and I'm not his guy. And I always looked at myself as a team player, a hard nosed player that's gonna lead by my examples, right? And I
Right.
always felt like, how could a coach not want me to be on the field? You know, in my mind, I'm trying to rationalize that, but for whatever reason, that's what happened, and I had to get over that and go through that adversity and learn. You know, everything's not going to be all rosy. So
Right.
that's what I learned at Kentucky.
Well, that's the
Hey,
thing, man. Remember, that's 1990, 94.
Yeah,
When you
'94.
come on, man, they didn't have all. You couldn't find the information. There was no information, man. You had to trust people.
Yeah,
Um, but tell me a little bit about this consultant thing. So you got the book, and is the information in the book that is directed to you, to your consultant end of it, or how does that
yeah,
work?
yeah. So um, I've been doing consulting on a local basis for the last couple of years, and I'm really trying to push to get it more nationwide. So I'm that's really another reason why I wanted to make sure that I get the book out because with the tips in there, I can give you the book, but having that person that can guide you along the way is more valuable than probably even the book. But I want to make sure that I put it out there just in case someone can't afford to hire me or any other consultant. They have the book right there where they can really just go down and say, okay, I've done that, I've done that. Really have a checklist of things that are going to make them more successful and to put them be able to put themselves out there to other to the colleges.
Hey,
You
you're
mute.
muted, Ant.
I did mute myself. I had a cough. Thank you. Good looking out. But I did want to ask you this. I was thinking, we all kind of got different backgrounds from, doing a show with Van for quite a while and, knowing you. And, I was a youngster when y'all left. Who, like, when you talk about the consulting and writing a book, if you would open up and discuss, who helped you make decisions on going to college? Because I don't think you regret the decisions you made, but I think you made the decisions off of your heart because that's the type of player you are, and I think that's the type of person you are. You're the type of person to think with your heart. And it may not. You played in the NFL, which is great, but you may not have achieved everything you could have if you had went somewhere where I think you'd have been greatly appreciated. So parents, and I say that because your book is geared toward the kids and parents. That the parent, I know my mother helped me, and she sees things that most people don't see. And so I don't know who helped influence you through your high school to college or however you got to junior college, then junior college to UK.
Man, I really didn't have anybody. To
Okay.
be honest with you, I made a lot of tough grown up decisions very early on. I chose to go to San Francisco. I don't even think I discussed that with my mom, honestly. I just, like I said, I think at the time it was an opportunity. You know, do I stay here or do I go? And I wanted to make sure that I made good for myself and my family, but I made that decision. And when I got there, I did have some great coaches who saw things in me that I didn't see in myself, but they didn't force me to go either way. When I was going through the recruiting process, I made the decision. Like, I narrowed it down because of, I asked San Diego State was recruiting me as well, and I narrowed it down to Kentucky, USC, San Diego State.
Marshall
And
Falk.
I asked the coach, I said, what if I get hurt? Will you guys pay for, me to graduate? And he took too long to answer, and that was the last time that
Yeah,
I
okay.
spoke to that coach. He
Wow.
Mm.
just he kind of fumbled around with the question, and he didn't give me a definite answer. And I said, okay, that's the guy that's the school I'm not going to go to. If you can't answer that question for me, and I asked the same question to the other schools, and they got right. Oh yeah, Kentucky. The reason why I really like Kentucky because Coach Limbaugh was he was one of those guys that you could believe in. You could. He was so genuine that I could just trust him, and that's before I knew anything about him. And they were always sending me letters and everything. So I guess I built up that relationship with him, and it made me comfortable. And then, like I said, you got an Eric Gray who was the number one quarterback in the state in Texas that was at San Francisco with me, and I saw him play, and he was definitely a NFL talent, and arguably the best running back I've ever seen in my life of Damon Carter, who was from Kentucky and was going back to UK. George Harris, a damn good safety. So when you factor in those three people going to Kentucky and then playing in the SEC, it wasn't as hard of a choice as I make it because I'm looking at all the ingredients here. Tough conference. I'm going with some friends. I felt comfortable with the coach. So those things. And then when I went to USC, they ain't had the name on the back of the jersey. That kind of threw me the wrong way too. You work real hard to have your name on the back of a jersey, man. I mean, I'm like, I know USC is tradition, and it was like one of the top schools, but I was like, man, you can't even get your name. And when I went to Kentucky on a visit, the facilities were just crazy. I had
Oh,
never seen facilities like Kentucky. We
They were new
were,
back then, right?
yeah,
yeah,
right.
they were new.
Right. It was
Yeah,
New
yeah,
York.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were state of the art before there was
Right.
state of the art,
yeah.
right? So like all of those things went into my mind. But I've always been a sort of an old soul, even when I was younger, man.
Yeah.
So I made a lot of tough decisions for myself.
I'm
Let
glad.
me ask both y'all.
Go ahead.
Let me ask both y'all this though. This, since it's going to be on podcasts, and hopefully people share it with other kids, with people who's been there and done that. What percentage? Because everything you telling me, and it doesn't surprise me one bit from knowing you. Everything you telling me, what percentage do you think heart needs to be? Heart, what comes from your heart and choosing, and that's why when your book, like your heart may send you to the wrong place because your heart can go where a woman wants you to go. It could go where something that just sparkles and you like it. So do y'all have both? I want both of y'all input. Do y'all have a balance of how much it should be hard and how much it should be head and statistics, or you just think it's just a thing you lay down and pray for?
I mean, I back then, I think you had to go with your heart. Back then, now you don't have to go with your heart. See, this is what I teach my kids. You are a business. You are a brand. You have to make that university treat you as the business that you are. You're in the business for yourself. So if I'm going to go to Kentucky, like if I was an athlete right now and I was going to Kentucky, there I would be thinking a lot differently than I would back then. Now I can do research. How many kids graduate? How many student athletes graduate from this school? How many go to the league from this school? So if I wanted to go to the NFL back then, I probably wouldn't have went to Kentucky because there wasn't that many guys actually going to the league from Kentucky, right?
Right.
So those are a lot of factors that you look at. Like I got a kid right now, he's at Northwestern. You know why he picked Northwestern? 99% graduation rate for student athletes.
Yeah.
That's smart, right? Everybody doesn't talk to these kids about branding themselves and being a business and choosing what school they go to on a business side and not just, oh, I want to go there because they're the national champions. You might go there and you're sixth in the hole. You're six deep and you
Yeah.
never play.
Right.
So what good is that to go to Alabama if you never step on the field?
Right. I'm gonna say this: knowledge is king. Knowledge can guide your heart. If you have no knowledge, then you are going strictly off your heart. If if you know my chance of going to NFL is slim to none, I have a slight chance, but I don't have a. It's not a high likelihood. Going to a Northwestern that has the resources and the alumni that they have is huge. If you're that kid who can have that education, you need to look at a lot more than just a football, man. This is 4 years that's gonna set you up for the rest of your life. And if you don't have that talent, let's say you do have that talent, but you have an injury, you need to set yourself up for your future beyond just football. And there's so much at your fingertips now, man, that you can tap into, that these kids got everything at their disposal, and you should use it. So learn, research, do all the background that you can, so then you can go with your heart, but it'll be a knowledgeable heart, not just a unknowledgeable heart.
Reggie, man, I'm disappointed in you, man. I'm
Uh-oh.
disappointed in you. Off the chart, off the record, not off the record, off the screen, whatever chat thing,
Uh-oh.
message. And I remember this too. What is Damon Carter's biggest achievement at San Francisco Junior College?
Man, Damon Carter, like OJ
Whose
Simpson.
record did he? Thank you.
OJ Simpson
I just
went to
got a
Howard Junior
text.
College before USC, and Damon broke all of his records and didn't play in the fourth quarter in many games. He was blowing people out.
Hold on.
I just got a text about. I remember y'all saying that when he got there. I just got a
I got
text about
something
that.
else that had to be the season of '95. That's was the spring of '95 where Mo was hurt and Damon ran every rep
I
of
think that
that
was
spring.
'94. I think that's when we first got there.
That was '94. That man ran every rep, dude.
Every rep. Dude, I've never seen Damon Carter was 6'2", about 215, 220-ish,
Yeah.
that had 4.3 speed, but could run you smack over if you got in his way, and could pull away from you. Like, I've seen runs, and mind you, I played in the NFL, and I've been around a lot of great backs. You know what I mean? Like, but Damon, between him and Mike Allstott, those are the two only guys that I would sit on the sideline and be in awe of and say, wow, besides Barry Sanders or something. But,
Mike Allstott?
Mike Allstott.
Dude,
like,
don't say that, dude. Don't say
Hey,
that.
because he played against Fred Taylor. He played against Fred Taylor is why I'm saying that.
I no.
Allstott, man.
Dude, I'm gonna tell
He
you.
was a beast. That
Man.
rookie year, like in '97, when he first came on the scene. Oh my God,
Dude.
I ain't never seen nothing. A dude that big, like he wasn't just running over people. He was just like juking and moving
Yeah.
and running past people. Oh, it was.
And I'm telling you,
we used to sit on the sideline, and defense is usually sitting on the bench, right, when the offense is up. We would be on the sideline watching because we were just like entertained. That's how
Right.
Damon was. I mean, watching Damon, man, it was something special.
in '97 when we played Tampa, last game of the season, and people were turning down Mike Allstott. I'm just telling you, they were turning him down.
Yeah.
Dude, that man.
Hey, that was 240. No, that was about 250.
I'm about to say he had to be. Dude,
and could run.
Hold on. But the bad part about it, here's the thing about someone that big, right? As a DB, we had Walt Harris and what's Carter's first name? Played at Notre Dame. They were the corners, right? So you think at that time, let him run by me, but then I tackle him, right? If you let him run by you, you ain't gonna catch up. So you don't want to hit him head on. But if you let him get 2 steps on you, it's gonna take you something to go get him. I'm just saying, dude. He was bigger in person. And you.
Hey,
How tall was he?
Very big. Them shoulder pads were like.
Dude, Mike had to be 6'2"?
Oh, I thought he was only like 5'10" or something.
No,
he looked
that was a
short.
big man. Dude,
Oh.
that was a big man.
Hey, you ain't trying to tackle Mike Allstott.
That was a big
I'm just
dude.
telling you. No, sir.
Oh man.
Now between him and Damon, man, like seriously, like I hated. Like that was one of the things I hated. I hated what they did to Eric, and I hated what they did to Damon, man, because I think you told me that they wanted to move Damon to. No, maybe Eric. Eric told me that they wanted to move Damon Carter to defensive back.
Wow.
Look, hey, this dude broke all of OJ Simpson's records.
I will say this. I wish we would have had him one more year in '96 after Mo left.
Dude, they could have ran him and Mo, and nobody would.
Don't,
Him, Mo, and Eric. Gray.
don't.
He didn't have the eligibility, did he? Or did he transfer again to EKU?
No, he
Getting
transferred
into
To
it.
EKU.
Yeah, he transferred to EKU, but
Okay.
he could have redshirted.
Oh.
Man, we got to Kentucky. That was just a mess. That was just a mess.
Dang. So what from the recruit, we're gonna get back on the recruit standpoint. So what do you think being a grown man now? Because I try to go through we had a show a couple weeks ago about coaches hiring letters. What would be the point in luring all y'all in here without intent to use you? If you don't fit the scheme, then don't kind of bring me. You have any idea what the intent was bringing you here, moving George from corner to safety, having you sit behind somebody, having OJ. I thought George was a corner in college.
Nah,
I'm in a
George
junior
was a-
college.
Listen
Oh,
to
okay.
this. George was a free safety. I was the strong safety. George
Okay.
had 10 picks our sophomore year.
Yeah.
Like George could move around in the backfield. So I was a strong safety, dude. I led every team that I was on in tackles. I mean, I brought that to Kentucky too. Like I led the whole conference in solo tackles. Like that's what I did. I found the ball wherever it was. I was gonna be by the ball. Now, why they brought me in, and I have no idea. Honestly, because I know I could have competed. I didn't really get an opportunity when I got there. They moved me from corner right behind Melvin within a week or so of camp. So I really didn't get comfortable at all.
Well, you said it all, and that's what bothers me a little bit. And I can say this now is that obviously, we didn't. Your position coach didn't know who you really were, per se. I don't know how much film he watched, but I will say this though. Knowing how much depth we had in the DB room, y'all shouldn't have came. To be honest with you, because like you said, you was a strong safety. Now we did need a free safety, so they should have kept George at free safety because we had no depth at free safety, but we had a shit ton of depth at corner.
Wait a minute. You mean depth as in numbers or quality? Because I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
Well, okay.
Reggie, look, I see a smile on your face, man.
No,
I see a smile on your face.
See, but
Hey,
hold
I
on,
ain't gonna
Anthony, hold on though. See, but that's the thing though, right? That's the thing that Reggie said. Is in your eyes, in Reggie's eyes, it might not have been a quality depth, but in the eyes of the coach, it was
person making
quality
the decision,
depth,
right? Yeah,
So
yeah.
take that aside. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
it's key for these kids to understand. You have to understand where you stand, how this kid came in here, maybe what he was rated from coming out of high school, what his relationship is with the coach, what kind of person he is, and find out, can I jump him? Is it really possible for me to jump that guy? If you 3 deep at corner and the third guy is a freshman, I'm behind a guy who's only 1 year older than me.
Yeah.
Is it really worth it? So you got to do your research, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you if I did any. I can't remember.
I didn't.
I don't think I did either. Like
I didn't.
I was confident.
I had no idea.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like I didn't care where I went. I was confident.
Right.
If you turn on film from everywhere that I had been, I led the team in tackles everywhere. So like bringing me in, you're gonna put me around the ball. I should have started off at the gate at strong safety. Put me up on the line. I mean, turn on high school film. I played linebacker. The reason why they played me a linebacker because I moved around the field and I made tackles. I didn't miss tackles. I did the same thing at junior college. I mean, I led the team basically in tackles. And then when I got to Kentucky, if you move me where I'm going to be efficient and I'm going to make plays,
Yep.
and you need that other guy in the box that's going to make that's me. I don't miss tackles. Like, and I showed that at free safety.
Right. Yeah.
Having 102 tackles, 81 of them were solo tackles. Like at free.
And you was what, 180 pounds?
185 pounds. Like the corners were bigger than me.
Yes, we were bigger than you. Yeah, that's why we have to implore these young kids to find out whom is the starter now. I'm gonna tell you something. He is a starter for a reason, and it doesn't. There are some guys who are not as talented as the guy behind them. He's a starter because that coach trusts him for whatever reason. I can't tell you why, but he trusts him. So if you got a guy who is a sophomore who's starting, he's most likely going to start until he graduates. Find out if that's the guy in front of you and say, okay, that I love this college, but if I want to sit 3 years, I'm going to have to probably sit 3 years unless he gets hurt, right? That's just the law averages.
The one thing that I think Reggie and I got in agreement, but what you kind of, even what you saying now, we all have an agreement is that one, and I know how Reggie feel, and I think you feel the same way as well, Van. But when you say, and no disrespect, and this is just because I'm from the Midwest and I grew up Big Ten, I didn't know who Mo Williams was, and I wasn't saying I was trying to take his position. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I knew I could play ball, and I knew you could put me anywhere. The receiver, DB, running back, whatever you want to do. But the thing is, when you say, I look at their roster, well, this guy, well, you recruit me. You know, like Bo Jackson told Marcus Allen, like, hey, when that plane flew over Los Angeles, you knew your job was in jeopardy. So it's kind of, most of us players coming in that position. But you are right, though. You have to do the research because you never know if you are a better athlete, you may not get that opportunity. But guys, like all three of us are going to say, you got a sophomore and a junior. Okay, yeah. Once they see me, all that's going to change.
They put me behind Melvin, which Melvin was a good player. Melvin was a real good player. So after about a week, I was at corner, and then they moved me. And this was out of Coach Smith's mouth. He says, Melvin has never made a full season.
Which is true.
He said he's been injured every single year. So it's just a matter of time before you're going to be the guy. That's what made me say, okay, I'll move to free safety. I know what I brought to the table. I just knew it. I didn't care who was on the team. To be honest with you, I'm just going to be real.
Yeah.
I can play. That's all I know. I can play football. I don't care who's on the field. I'm coming here for a spot. I did not come way to Kentucky not to play.
Right.
Period.
Right. And kids need to understand that, man. I'm telling you, man. I got lucky. Honestly, I got lucky because we had 3 seniors at corner my freshman year. So that was all the depth. We had 3 starters really at corner. Once they left, it wasn't that many in front of me. So I got lucky that the depth chart was deep when I got there. Like I had no chance of playing corner when I got there because we had those 3. We had 3 more. So we were 6 deep at corner. But once those 3 left, it was wide open. But I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know. Oh, well, they got Don, Cannon, and AD, and they seniors. So I'm primed for the next year. I just went there because I liked everything else. But now these kids need to do that research, man, because next year we would be.
At this point in time, there's no excuse for a kid not to know what's going on.
Right.
I mean, everything is so much more transparent. There's so much more information. If you don't know what you're getting yourself into, that's on you. That's what it all boils down to. So that's exactly why I wrote the book, because if I can give you tips that y'all don't know, right? Like, because a lot of the information you got to go and search for it. But if I can give you this information, you're like, oh wow, I didn't realize I had to do A, B, and C.
Right.
I'm giving them more knowledge than they would have gotten because, like I said, I've dealt with high school athletes and coaches for a long time. high school coaches are, and I have some friends that are high school coaches, but they will not send their kids to outside trainers hardly or outside influencers, you know, which everybody is not out for the kids' best interest. But when you
Sure.
find someone who's out and you know that they're out for the kids' best interest, you need to bring that person in as an ally, in my opinion.
So how many? Let me ask you this: off of saying that, how many people have you come across, parents, and I'm telling you, I've run into this just casually because I don't get involved in people's business. Just because, man, people got reasons why they don't want their kid to go there. They only got their kid playing basketball. When I'm like, your son to be a nice defensive end or tight end.
Right.
So like, I'm not, and I'm talking about as a freshman, eighth grader. So they come to me and, well, the coaches are saying this, and they don't got him in this class. Huh? Well, how do you? Have you signed up? And I don't. The name has changed, but I said, have they signed up for the clearinghouse as a sophomore? What's the clearinghouse? Oh Lord,
Yep.
are you serious? Yep. Like you worried about who we talking to outside, and you don't know what the clearinghouse is, and your kids is a sophomore in mid season?
Hey, that just proves my point.
Yeah,
If I'm a high school coach, every one of my kids from starting in the ninth grade, they're gonna know what the NCAA eligibility center is.
yeah,
They're gonna know when the SAT and the ACT is. They're gonna know what test should I take. If you're better in math, ACT. If you're better in English and writing, ACT for math, SAT for English and writing, right?
Right.
You're gonna know those things, right?
right.
Those are things that are fundamentally that you should know. How many hours should I have before my junior year? So I won't mess up my freshman year and be behind.
Yeah, yeah,
Shouldn't
yeah,
we know this?
Yes.
yeah.
So I've reached out to schools and I'm like, okay, let's have a freshman seminar where we go over. Yeah, we do that. We bring in the NCAA and da 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 da. The difference is this: it hits different when you got a guy who's been everywhere that you're trying to go, opposed to some collar guy comes in that knows a lot of books. He can't
They handed
relate
them
to
out
me.
sheets. And just hand them
Yeah,
out
hand
sheets.
me
They
out
might
all
not
this
look at
damn
them
paper.
sheets again. They ain't gonna look at them sheets again.
That paper will never be pulled out the folder again, right?
Right.
It's different when you got somebody on stage and you're like, oh damn, he made it to the NFL. Oh damn, he went to this big time college. Oh damn, he was all SEC. Oh damn. Now the brain's working, right? Now they're gonna sit
Right.
back in their chairs like, oh, I'm listening. You bring a
Right.
guy who ain't never even played up on stage to try to tell me how to do ABC. I'm over here playing with my friend.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You have to relate to the kids that you're talking to.
Yep.
You got to bring in as many people. I bring in all kind of people to talk to kids, to talk to my kids. Just because I play in the NFL, my story may not resonate with all of them.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna bring all types of dudes, 4-star, 3-star, 1-star, free agent, first round draft pick. I'm bringing everybody in, coaches. So everybody can have someone that they can understand and listen to and understand the story that each player or coach or whoever has had, right? I'm not selfish because if I wanted to be selfish, I can say, I know everything because I made it. So y'all listen to me. There's nobody else, right? I could be like that, but that's
Yeah,
not me.
yeah.
I want to bring a band in. I want to bring an Anthony in. I want y'all to talk to the kids because your story is different than mine. I need to resonate with every kid that I work with.
Right.
How do I do that? I bring in other people.
I know I don't want to get off into a whole nother show, but man, on the screen you see, man, my man Vic wanted thoughts. We got a little bonus. We got a little bonus 5. We probably get another 5 extra minutes in, and we touch this topic. I don't know if we'll be able to touch in the whole 5 minutes, but is the whole thoughts on coaches want players to specialize in one sport
Dude, it's
and,
ridiculous.
and
It's
rather than play
ridiculous.
multiple sports, like
Dude, it's ridiculous. And I had a basketball team. I told my parents this. I didn't have not one kid on that team that was a basketball player. They played basketball. They were not basketball players. I'm like, your son needs to play another sport. I think Nick Saban has said out loud that he don't recruit guys who only play one sport.
Yeah.
It's there's so many advantages to playing at least two sports. And I'm gonna say this for now. Let's just say we had a guy. We had a guy, Brian Bridgewater, piggybacking on you, Anthony, what you said earlier. He went to my school, a small school, 6'5", like 230 in high school.
Yeah.
He made catches, dude, that I've never seen before. Because he was a basketball, he was a big rebounder. So he could body himself, right? His parents didn't want him to mess his fingers up because they thought he was going to play basketball on the next level. So they wouldn't even let him play defense. Dude, don't get me started. So he quit football and concentrated on basketball. Went to LSU, but he's 6'5". He's like a center. You ain't going to go nowhere at 6'5", dude.
That's a guard, right?
That's a guard.
Nowadays, yes, sir.
Then his senior year, he decides, oh, I'm going to go out for football as a tight end. That dude had NFL written all over him, period. He was Tony Gonzalez, bro. I should, dude. He made a catch in a playoff game that I'm like, it's impossible he came down with it. It's impossible.
But is there?
What was that?
But no. But is there a formula? So outside of your book, and I'm sure you can go over this because you will see Reggie himself will see the kids up close and personal, be able to examine them and put them through rigorous training to find out. But is there a formula that you go through if a parent's like, well, little Bobby's played baseball his life, but this coach is saying that. Another thing is now all sports go all year round. Basketball, football, they all go all year round. But is there a formula that you can use to tell parents? Because I've tried to tell people, and when they stuck on that, yeah, well, because if he's 6'4" in the 8th or 9th grade, like in that transition, we don't know if he's gonna grow past 6'4". And like you said, now that's a guard. That ain't, he gonna play forward or center. So I try to tell him, but I don't want to be responsible for White saying no, he shouldn't. So is there you got a formula, or like I said, is this something through examination?
I played football, basketball, and I ran track in high school. I think every kid should at least run track, right?
Yeah. Preach.
I think basketball helps a kid, especially a bigger kid, with footwork.
Yep.
And then when you go onto the football field, you can utilize that movement, that lateral movement. Now you also got kids that are training. If you're not training, you're so behind. So behind. So as a parent today, you have to really understand and gauge how much your kid is doing. Because you guys, when I was young, we only had summer league basketball. So after school was over, we didn't play basketball, like on an organized team until the summer. Now you got AAU going on, you got all of these things. So now you got to be careful and mindful about injury, because doing too much, will eventually catch up with you. But I think at the end of the day, I think kids should play at least the first 2 years in high school. I think they should play multiple sports. And then, after that sophomore year, if you say, okay, I'm 6'3", I'm probably not going to get any much bigger, then you start thinking like more logically, what's my best opportunity to obtain a scholarship? So then you want to really focus and train on your skill set. And a lot of kids don't understand that the difference between a 5-star and a 1-star kid is usually just skill. Like, I can take that 5-star and he probably can play like the first year, right? Because he's got the skills, he's got the hips, he's got the footwork, he's smooth, he's transition. And then you got a kid that's kind of rough who hadn't been working on those areas. That's why I always focus on the skill. I need to make sure that you can move efficiently, you have quick feet, you can change direction, and your hips are smooth as butter. If a kid comes in and he's like that, I can just plug and play him. You know what I'm saying? Just teach him, and then he's an athlete, right? So I think, the first 2 years of high school, play everything until you figure out what it is that you want to focus on. Because ultimately, your body's going to determine where you ultimately be, right? If I'm 5'10", I ain't playing. I was good in basketball, but I ain't going to the NBA more than likely. I'm looking at the odds, right?
Right.
So I think people have to weigh that.
And track
Okay.
is important. I talked about this yesterday, dude. There are. I went on the summer league circuit 2 years in a row with my team. It will make you pull your hair out the amount of kids who don't know how to freaking run. Like just the normal mechanics of running.
Yep.
Like, how do you not know how to run? I mean, Zion Williamson is a kid that he has no idea how the mechanics of foot placement. Dude, I don't know. I don't want to get into the track thing, but dude, it's so many people that have no idea how to just basic running.
And
Everybody
speed
should run track.
kills, right? If
Was that?
you are a football player and you run track and you master that, when you go to camp and you
Oh,
run a 4.3, guess what? You're gonna get a lot of attention.
at
Just
5'9" or
because you're
5'10".
fast. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
At 5'9" or 5'10", if you run that time, you're gonna grab somebody's attention. Period.
This true story. We got some kids that played on our our 7-on-7 team, and now they can flat out play, but they're on the shorter side at corner. I think they're around 5'8", 5'9", and they've been working on the skill set. Uh, they work with a couple NFL guys too, so they're getting coached up right. And after the 7-on-7 season, man, they just started getting offers out of everywhere, from everywhere, because the skill set was so good, and they both run track, so they got speed. So that just nullifies the fact that you say I'm 5'8", I can't make it D1. Hey, we got two guys right here that are 5'8", 5'9", on a good day, but they are going to cover whoever's out there that they're going. They're going to cover them, and they can run. So get in track and work on your skill set. Those are the two more, for me, the most important
No,
thing. Because once you work on skill set, meaning if I'm a DB and I can't turn my hips, you know,
it's done.
you're not as. It's going to be hard for you to get into that lineup.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
This is what I'm gonna do, Reg. We better close out and appreciate you coming. I'm gonna need a bunch of information from you. So I'm gonna tell people, me and Van and I are gonna tell people how we feel about you for a minute. And so no, because if you got all this on you, if how they can get in contact with you, where to pick your book up, consulting. And you know what? I know I talked to you a couple years ago, and I know your business acumen has changed since we talked some time ago. But you and I had that same concept. I'm in the Midwest, you in the South, about the seminars. I mean, it's absolutely needed. My mother was a single mom. I'm the first person to actually finish college. I'm not the first person to start college. I'm the first person to be offered a full scholarship. And the one thing, I kind of, which I like to talk to people about, I'm so sensitive about, is when people say, I'll talk to women who their kids and they got this thought. My mother told me, I was getting letters from Colorado, all over the country. My mother told me that you can go wherever you want. I love those. You can go wherever you want, long as I can see you. Hold on though, as long as I can drive to see you. So now it ain't like where can you go and play and you can fly or whatever. It's that.
Right.
So most of us love her, your mama, more than anything on earth. So that puts me down driving 5-6 hours, and that threw a lot of schools out of the running or whatever. But but like I said, you maybe explain it to them more, and if it's worth it, because sometimes kids need to get away from home. I know we
Yeah.
play with a lot of people who had to get away from their environment. As
Yeah.
far as you don't want to be in driving distance, you want far enough away.
Right.
But I want to get everybody all the information. If, like I said, you have it on hand now, we can get on hand now. If not, we
Well,
can take a couple seconds and recap.
yeah, the best way to get in contact with me is on using our website. It's www.thestudentathlete.org. And you can actually, there's a link where you can pre-order the paperback, or you can do the ebook, which is a link is sold on Amazon. And we became a #1 bestseller in multiple categories last weekend from my ebook. So The information is good. Everybody who have purchased it, they loved it. We're getting great feedback from it. And like I said, man, I put a lot of tips in there because I came from a single parent household. I almost slipped through the cracks. I had to go through it to the junior college route, and I still came out on the other end. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, and that's what it all comes down to. It doesn't matter. I didn't have a D in front of the college that I went to. It wasn't D1, D2, or D3. It was a junior college, and I still made it to the NFL. So it doesn't matter where you guys start; it's where you finish, and how much work you're going to put in to put yourself in position and taking advantage of those opportunities. And that's what my whole organization is about: is talking to kids about being entrepreneurs and thinking differently, thinking about how important it is educational wise when you pick a school. So all of these things are within the program. I wanted to give them everything that I lacked when I came out. So those are the things that I wrote in the book, and those are the things that we do in a consulting. When we're entrepreneur mindset, man, we think differently.
Right.
Hey, I want to get well, two last minutes. They ain't gonna let us get you off here, Reg, man. You do. Hey, I don't know if you can read the screen. Can you read the screen? Because I want you to
I
see it for
see
you.
Anwar. I told Anwar I was gonna come up and see him in December. I hadn't been to Kentucky since '97.
He want the
So
book, Reggie. He said, "Hook a brother up."
why the brother always got to be a
Whoa,
hookup?
whoa,
Nah,
whoa, whoa! But how much is Stu making, man? Stu needs to purchase that book,
Stu
man. Come
making
on,
all
man.
Come on, man, Stu.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, Anwar. I know you listening. What we should do is get a copy of every student in Kentucky, the high school. You guys need to start working with them damn high school athletes in Kentucky. That's one thing we should all do. Is
Stu can't do that
I ain't
though.
gonna
Stu
mention no
can't do it.
names, but Van know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
We talk
I got you.
about going to Kentucky and doing some things, all of us, because I think at the end of the day, we did something everybody's not able to do, you know. And I think all of us coming together and going to schools in Kentucky or wherever and speaking to the kids, I think that's a great thing, and I think that's something that all of us can do.
Yeah.
And War can't do it because NCAA rules. But real
We
quick,
can.
We
All you
can.
gotta do is, give us the information. We'll make the calls, and we make it happen.
real quick, one more time.
I
Like I
just,
said,
I
that's
just
the other
wanna,
thing.
I just wanna be a beacon of hope for some kid who didn't think that they could,
Right.
like myself, and someone invested in me and made me believe in myself. And at the end of the day, I accomplished a lot of things, still accomplishing things
Right.
based off of other people investing in me. So I want to be that guy that invests in other people.
And when I'll piggybacking off of you just saying that, I had this up here several times because Miss Estella White Darden, she wasn't Estella White Darden when I played with you, but I remember when I was a DB when we had our first fan day, and I was standing between you and George, and when y'all got done, she was hugging you. I said, "Take it." I was like, "I'm gonna take her," and y'all did, man. Because a couple weeks later, I was calling her, saying, "Ma, I'm trying to come home. I don't want to be here." When you get off the phone, she gonna call me and say, "That's that dude. That's that guy." So you when you talk about you want to make a difference, you made a difference on a dude on that level, and I'm sure you made a difference for our mother. So people don't really understand, like I said, the impact what you trying to do can have. Cause I was gonna leave Lexington, Kentucky, if it wouldn't have
Bro,
been for positive
it's
dudes, having
that's
my
what it's
back.
about, man.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about, is investing in other people. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate when I see guys not, you know, wrap their arms around other people, because we don't know where everyone came from. We all came from
yeah.
different situations. Like, we should uplift each other and be big brothers or mentors. We all need mentors in some point of our lives. You know what I'm saying? So, I've always been humble, and I've always wanted to give back to other people. Like that's just my nature, point blank. Period. That's why I'm so passionate about this because, like I said, think about if you would have left Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Like things may not have worked out for you the way you thought that they would have worked out because you left, but you stood
Right.
with it and you made it. And you're saying thank me, and that makes me feel good because that's what I strive to do. I really strive to help other people. So I appreciate that.
All right. So you said I meant to bring this up earlier because it sounded like D. It's THE,
Yes.
thestudentaathlete.org.
THE.
THE. Yeah.
It's
Studentathlete.org.
StudentAthlete.org.
it's a nice
Okay.
site too, bro.
Hey, I'm
That's
spending a lot of money on that site,
dude.
so it better be nice.
That's a nice, and you can schedule a consultation too.
Yeah, that's the best
So
thing. I put that feature on there because parents have questions,
yep,
and I want to be able to sit down and talk to you about your kid. Every kid has a different situation going on, so when we're able to sit down and talk about those situations, we can come up with a plan of action for that kid. Every kid is different.
Yeah.
yeah, man. That's it's that's good stuff, man.
Hey, I
Good stuff.
appreciate you guys for letting me come on, man, and I definitely want to hook up with y'all sometime in the near. I'm 40, about to be 48. So remember, like we were like 21, 22. I know I was around that age when I got to Kentucky. Yeah, man, I'm 47.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you was on the beginning of my first getting here, and I spent another 5 years here. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I treasure, as bad as I felt like Kentucky was, you always got to take something positive out of every situation.
Right.
I
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
some great guys in Kentucky, man. As bad as that whole situation, and I still communicate with Coach Curry. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, out of all of that, you put that in the past, it made me who I was. I'm gonna tell you, Coach Smith really helped me as well because that junior year when I was playing just special teams, it helped me have a film on special teams for the NFL. It
Yeah.
also helped me write goals down.
Mm.
And when
Yeah.
I go to schools and speak, I always talk about writing the goals down and not just thinking them and locking them in here.
Right.
Coach Smith is the reason why I wrote those goals down because I was so angry and so mad and so upset. But I said, I'm not going to let anybody stop me from being successful and being who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear kids always talk about, oh, coaches, they doing this and that. I said, dude, I went through the same thing. Once you get on
Yeah.
the field, if you outshine the coaches, they're not going to say, oh, you're too good. We're going to put you over
Right.
here. You
Right.
have to show you might have 1 to 2 opportunities. You better make those opportunities good opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
want to hear about like go to the league and say that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Sure.
So take, all we need is one opportunity to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So that's my message. And always try to look for a positive in every negative situation.
All right,
Absolutely,
man.
that's good stuff. Good stuff, Deuce. The
Yeah,
original Deuce. That's the original Deuce. I'm tell Tim that. But no, but man, we appreciate you, Reg. Man, we're gonna be able to check
Always.
the podcast out. We're gonna get the podcast. I'm gonna get this one up good because this is good stuff, man. Even if I gotta stay up late night and work over, but
Yeah, send that to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
we appreciate you coming out, man. Anytime you want to join back on, you got some information to spew to the kids because what they going through now. That was a whole nother thing we need to get into. So we may have you back on real soon
Hey man,
because people.
I'm gonna come see you in Anwar when I'm gonna be in Atlanta probably in December. So I decided I'm gonna drive up to Kentucky. So I'm gonna hit you up when I get up there so we can kind of like chill out, maybe go catch lunch or something.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna be up here. And we already said it's on him. So yeah, we.
Oh yeah. Oh, steak and lobster then. Big bang.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do that, man. But man, appreciate you, man. Good work, man. Appreciate everything you did, man, and everything you done and accomplished, man. Let me know if we can help. You want to come back on? You got something else you need to put out there? We here, man. You're welcome
Appreciate you
anytime,
guys.
brother. All right,
All
man.
right, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Man, look at you. You dropped another bomb, and you did it once again. Man, reaching out to your connections.
Oh.
Man, brought through another excellent show. Another, what are you 2-0? 2-0.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, I mean, you know, I just, but but good stuff, man, good stuff. And that was actually some real good stuff, and I think that's gonna transfer good on podcasts. So when y'all check this podcast, that's gonna be good
People,
stuff.
seriously, I'm gonna put that site up. I'm gonna retweet that on top of the other tweets I had of the book. It's legit, man. There is nothing like talking to someone who's been there. Right? 15 minutes of your time. To get some knowledge for hope, and I know it's a reasonable cost. Get yourself some knowledge, set your kid up for the future, man. It's huge. And get that book, man. I think it's only like $4 on a Kindle. So get the book, man. It's not that much. Get the book and you'll get something from it.
And everything Reggie said was real, man. Like that dude's genuine dude. I don't talk good about everybody I was around. And Reggie was a senior when I was a real freshman, a true freshman. So I only spent 1 year with that guy, and he made an impact on me. So he's a genuine guy. So they ain't one of these guys trying to prosper off a kid or trying to make money. So yeah, I'm with Van for once, man. Go check the book out. There's a couple dollars. I said you got to do some consultation with him or whatever, but. Man, the guy's a genuine dude, man. He's a genuine dude, man. And the biggest thing is he's been through a lot of them struggles. Like the struggles if you can't name a struggle that you gonna go through that he ain't been through yet. As far as athletics is concerned, so
he went the long route. He went the long route. He didn't go. He didn't go the easy route. He went the long route. He went to JUCO, and you know how JUCO freaking facilities are. You're not treated like a superstar at JUCO, man. And then he came to Kentucky, had to sit a year. Then he went, you know what I'm saying? He went to the league. So come on, man. All conference, got drafted. So he went the long way around, man.
all right, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We'll be back next week, and next week we'll be in September, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll be in September next show. So, all right, man. Happy August, man. Stay safe, man, and watch out for those tornadoes. Watch out for Laura. That's my sister's name, Laura.
Have a good weekend, man.
All right, man.